right, everybody. Welcome to today's program of One Page Story Extravaganza. Today's episode is brought to you by us. Bob's House of Fish. We stay open late for the halibut. This week's episodes are entirely brought to you by The Fake Explosion, Fake Bands, Real Music. All right. Okay, hi everybody. How's everybody doing today? I hope you're having a good day. It's Thursday all day long until it becomes Thursday night. Then it's Thursday night all night long until it becomes Wednesday morning, Friday morning. Days are hard. Okay, so here's today's page. Now, I didn't really start working on today's page during the stream yesterday because, we were doing what we were doing. We're going to do some more of that today. But there's the original art for it. And he says, while pulling down 18 other things, some more, And, it's a good time there, bud. So, yeah, we got today's page done. Unsung Heroes featuring, Handy Larry. So I'm back in my typical Charlie Farkelson attire, and if you don't know who that is, well, I guess you better get down to looking her up. Okay, so, Canadian hero. I didn't realize until recently that I dressed like Charlie Farkelson, and I don't know what that means. So, here's today's page. Anyhow, drawn in pencil and marker, and then everything was finished off digitally, so the coloring was digitally applied, and of course all the text and jazz like that. So, hi Linda, welcome aboard. So we thought we'd continue what we were doing yesterday and show some more of the original art from these one-page stories that we've been doing for the last while. The reason I'm going through everything is I'm just going to give you a very quick peek. Quick peek. Yeah, that's what I meant. Okay, so here is template. Interesting lines, Chris. And here are some examples of things. So, oh my goodness, what is happening? So, more on that Monday. Okay, so I thought I'd show you some more today's, some more pages that we've done the original art on. Just because I got some pretty nice messages from people yesterday, and because I wasn't sure if anybody really actually enjoyed this. So, people did. So, this is a very tragic looking individual who doesn't have this much hair anymore. And so, this is pencil crayon. I'll pull in on some of this stuff again. So, the pencil crayon imagery is, I really enjoy drawing in pencil crayon, and I approach it really softly and build up a lot of layers of color. I don't know how other people work with it, but that tends to be how I work with it. And then I'll put highlights in addition to that at the very end, and I'll beef up the eye, put some spots in the eye to give a sense of life and reflection, stuff like that. But so this is from page Storytellers. Here is one of two pages. Now, the reason I'm pulled in close is so you can see some of the tape and paint and spackling that's down on that surface. It's a couple of jets, and this is from the UFO drag race page, and so is this. Now, these images are drawn in ink. Whoa, it's upside down. These images are drawn in ink on drywall tape. And so drywall tape is, if you've ever done any drywall, when you are working out your corners and you're working out your beads that connect two sheets, there's a tape that you can span across and layer some mud down, put the tape down, there's some mud over it. It just holds everything nice and tight. But you can draw on it too, and just recognizing that it's highly absorbent as well. I've also used it for doing framing and using it as a backing tape on images. So there's that. And then that's ink drawings on drywall tape. This is just regular pencil and a gray marker. And this is from the page Run. And Run, the suggestion for this page was, hiya Chris, welcome aboard. The suggestion for this page is one panel, one word. What is it? One image, one word, one action, something like that. And so I did Run. And Chris says, there's so many people streaming right now, I cannot keep up. I completely understand it. And I never expect people to come in and join in, but I'm just going to do this because people like to watch the videos too. Oh, I'm sorry. It was one word, one image, one action. Yeah, hey, I actually remembered it. This is Lord Reginald's Lads. So it's this is pencil, crayon, and marker. And so here's a zoom shot. So this is pencil, crayon application in here and marker drawings on either side. And it's just about understanding the tonality of between it. Like this is highly intense coloring and subdued color in between. But it lets me draw focus of attention separately from one panel to the next panel to the next panel because of that division between the two. And I kind of like that. All right, here comes some gorgeous characters. So this is Sam, the Private Eye, page 4, or the 4th episode. And this involves Gary Hodges' 2 characters from DVSM. It involves Paul Pate himself as awkward, kind of a strange guy who's reporting about meeting up with an even more awkward, potentially alien guy on the job site there, and as portrayed by Jim Luan. So these guys know this was all permissible. Like this is all permissible. The using of their images. So this is a lot of fun. So what I did is I drew these with pen nibs. Now all the original art's gone out to the wind, but so then I scanned it and then I printed it out as a page like this, and then I colored it in inks. So because the printout looks like so, the colored ink version looks like so. So, but look at the intensity in that. Look at it. Hey kids, how you doing? Who likes potatoes? Here's another view of this in its finished form. Don't tell anybody I showed you this, but here's well, that's formatted for reasons, and which you'll find out on Monday. I keep doing that to you. This page is typos are impotent, and so this is drawn in. I'm not sure if this was shown yet, but typos are impotent is a page about spelling mistakes and the colossal errors that can come therein, like the wrong ingredient in foodstuffs. So this one's drawn in on paper that has green ink splashed across it, and then drawn over top of that in gray marker and white ink. So, and that's a lot of fun. This is a fun piece called Hercules, here to save us all. It's the mythology of Hercules, but if he's a slacker. It's the mythology of Hercules. If you know all of these stories that are trying to beef up a guy who really isn't that big a deal. So Hercules is, it's Hercules here to save us all. And the first thing, I mean, I guess if no one else comes along, like, should we wait or, yeah. This is a fun one. Yeah. And then here he is getting shocked by lightning, saying, "Of course I want to take over the family business. Yes, I'm trying." Yeah. So it's the not so good son of Zeus. I really enjoy drawing kids and having kids doing fun expressions. So I'll zoom in on this. This is from Hey Comic Kids, and it's a page about what if the ads at the back of comic books from the 1950s through 80s, where you could get, hey, get some sock monkeys and things like that. What if those actually gave kids powers? Oh, hey, hi Jim. Hi, how are you? Good to see you, Jim. Oh, thanks very much. It's good to be here. I like potato soup. So that's what this page is about. And so, what if these kids could send away for superpowers? And there's a little bit of chaos that comes out of this page. So, like here's a kid with fire blistering out of his fingers, and all kinds of kid flying, and another angry, strong kid. Just good fun. So one of the things I'm constantly doing is scribbling with Sharpies, dried out Sharpies that are half dried out, and I'll do sketches like this all the time because I like how it'll give me a hard line and a soft line. And so I'll take a couple of random pens. I draw a lot in markers, and this is some of the stuff that comes out of that. So, and you can get really expressive, and you can get a lot of stuff down, but it's unforgiving, so it's just sort of makes you be conscious of where you place your lines, things like that. So that's what that page is from Riot. Now this is, and I'll pull back out again, this is Salt and Pepper Showdown, and so I'm drawing in black pencil crayon and white ink. Salt is white ink, black pencil crayon is pepper, and it's a bunch of images of these two guys that are facing off, and the whole gist of it is that these two cowboys, one's made of salt, one's made of pepper, go to have a showdown in the center of town and immediately cause a dust storm of spicy goodness. So this is my Mafia page. This is and again, this is one of those pages that has very few pages that I've ever done have alcohol marker on them, and because I tend to get frustrated by it easily, because I find that the lines, you always get these division lines in there. So this one is it's fish on a pizza pie. So it's basically Mafia guys going, "What are you crazy, huh? What are you crazy?" So that's this is a fun page to do. This is that's what this one is. Here is some of the original sketches. Most of this was drawn digitally, but here's some of the original art for the Focal Point page, where it's about a little car that is got a sentient robot brain, and it throws itself at anything that remotely resembles a bullseye or a target, which causes a lot of calamities at certain department stores. So this is a fun and silly page. And it's all because a young man applied for a job there and was rebuked. So he creates a car to have his revenge. Revenge! So this is ballpoint pen, gray or black pencil, white pen, and white pencil on a heavy gray cardstock. And this is, if wishes were horses, then beggars would ride, is a suggestion. Apparently it's a Texan Texan euphemism, Texas euphemism. You know what I mean. And so this was suggested by Mr. Gary Hodges. And this was a lot of fun to do. And there's a lot of really fun detail that you can get using, nice little gestural lines. And so this, in the page, this carousel pony comes down the alleyway, and of course it ends with the hobo, or whatever you want to call them, riding away into the sunset on his carousel pony. So this was a good fun page as well. Fabio. So this is paperback writer, and she starts off as a romance novelist, and then she realizes the best way to have successful storytelling is to write from what you know. And so by the end of the story, it becomes a revenge book, because her romantic guy isn't so everything he's all cracked up to be. So there's a couple of pages of drawings of that. Hiya, Marguerite. Welcome aboard. So next up is this page. The suggestions were this is a virtual phlegm ball that lost its way to reality and forgot its lunch money, as suggested by Jose Cabrera. So it's in green pencil. I'll pop it on the zoom so you can see it a little more clearly. This is why I haven't adjusted the color on the zoom, by the way, so you can see some of the lighter line art. Okay, so those are the, it's really dark when you do that. That's why. So this is about a Star Trek, basically. The cat has a phlegm ball that reconstitutes itself as Captain Kirk, and says there's a malfunction in the transporter, and well, the page is on Instagram and Facebook if you want to read it. So here is a bunch of ballpoint pen drawings of Universal Monsters. Now, this page is the Brady Bunch theme. If I've written it down anywhere here, it's basically the Brady Bunch show, but the cast is all Universal Monsters. So that's what the page is, and so I basically apply the personality types of different Brady Bunch characters to that, like this, Esmeralda from The Werewolf, the gypsy lady. She's Alice, and there's Dad. There's Greg. There's Peter. There's Bobby. It's just silly business, but it was a lot of fun, and different colored pens. That's all that's done in. And so that's from the page from the Universal family. Here's a large size page that again is drawn in pen, but on a colored piece of paper. And it's trying to include, if you could have two holidays, choice of two holidays through the year, what would it be? And these people choose Day of the Dead. So but the goth kids completely get it wrong and it turns into chaos. So this is good fun in the sun. I really like drawing different people, if you haven't figured that quite out yet, but and the angle slightly warps all the faces, so there you go. Lots and lots of people. All right, now I got a couple fun things to share, and that is a little off the norm. So one of the things that I do a lot of is I'll scribble on random things while in the studio, or if I'm watching television and I just grab some little cards, just random, like these are studying cards for if you're going to do a speech, and so this is me just drawing different images on those, and then of course you can assemble said images and tell a story with these. And this is a ghost story, and so I've got all of these elements, that are drawn in, that, and then the story, of course, goes over top of it. There's a few different things that I'm making more zines out of for the Zine Swap stuff, if it comes up this year, or just to have more zines on my table at shows, because zines are small and cute and fun. But this is, you can see there's pieces of paper and tape on the surfaces, and ink and pen and black marker. The ink is white. That's all those are drawn with. So I have a number of these types of things that I do, but it's sort of a odds and sods here. Like this is just whatever, again, little random pieces of paper. And so there'll be fun little bits like this. It's actually two sheets. Or here's look out! Hey, look out! And Brucey in the back is Brucey. If you know what I'm referring to, you'll get that reference. And Nosferatu, and then Willem Dafoe is Count Orlok. And so this is just basically drawing all kinds of different film vampires and some teeth. This page is called Big Smiles, and the page is all these images of vampires giving you dental advice, how to take care of your teeth. And I showed this one yesterday. I showed this page yesterday with all of these fellas, and all these portraits of guys, and that's another story. And that is another story. So, let's see. So again, this is trying anything, any mark making things that you have kicking around, and just practicing making images. I can zoom in on these because they're so small. Sorry for that. So there's Harold, and there's his cousin Tina, and Uncle Ronaldo, and the pigeon, or I can't remember. It's a series of films, and that, and there's Uncle Buck. Hey, yeah. And here is Charles in Charge, and that's ballpoint pen. Like, so these are all different medium that I'm drawing with here. And then here's Griselda. Woo! Eat your heart out. Get a look at that lady. Again, Larry's House of Frightenstein joke. So, I don't know if you like these things or not, but this is just, again, trying all kinds of different approaches to storytelling. The original color of this page is blue. And here I am. There's tape down, etc., etc. And then just trying some different stuff out, you know. And this page, if you can see it, there's black stitches. I stitch paper together a lot. Why? Because I'm complicated. That's why. And you can see it better on the back. So here's Canadian moose, something like that. And this is just, I have bags of these random, so I'm not showing you all of them, but I have bags and bags of these random bits and bobs that I'm constantly scribbling and just throwing in bags. And then there's a little guy on the run. So these aren't on anything. These are just whatever they are. Marguerite says, I agree. So many streams. Yeah, so many different directions that you can do stuff. Like here's a fish. Just a couple of fish. And that's just part of Inktober. The first time I started Inktober, said, draw a fish. So I drew fish. And there's Kurt Vonnegut, one of my favorite writers. This is Barry Windsor Smith, brilliant writer-artist. There's Mr. Jack Kirby, the king himself, creator of so many things. I should actually just ask people if they know who these are. Have a little quiz for prizes. Speaking of prizes, tomorrow I'll be presenting this week's winner for the drawing draw. So, anyways, that's George Orwell, and this guy is H.P. Lovecraft, and then you've got one of my favorite, David Mamet. David Mamet was one of the coolest film script writers ever. And oh, I see. Marguerite's agreeing about there's just too many strips or too many streams to watch at once. Yeah, I don't blame you. And that's Charles Bukowski, who has a really, really interesting attitude about writing, and another absolutely genius writer illustrator, Winsor McCay, who did The Adventures of Little Nemo. And I've shown his work here on the U of Tubes before. There's Guillermo del Toro. There is Toby. Is that Toby Hooper? Toby Hooper. This is George Romero, the guy who's responsible for Zombies. George. This is Wes Craven. And then there's Stanley Kubrick. So this page had pen all over it. And then I drew on top of the pen in white ink. And that's what came out of it. It destabilized like that, which is so fun. And then there's Alfred Hitchcock. So again, it's all kinds of different methods and all kinds of different approaches. Just show, there's, what do we got? Let's see. What is this? Outlaw. Huh, that's John Cooper Clarke. There's Dizzy Gillespie. There's Tom York. That's Yoko Kamo. There is, I can't remember her name, Baku, and Tom Waits. So again, all kinds of different ways of drawing. So Marguerite Loves the Cranberries. That's a good song. This is a bunch of chalk drawings, and this is a Paul Pate suggestion of crossing, that he would willingly cross the Canadian border for cake. And so these are all panels from that. And there's Paul swinging on a vine, having grabbed a wedding cake and ran. Here he is trying to present pieces of cake to fellow Americans to show him why he's done what he's done. Just fun and silly, very dirty drawings from this page. So, you know, lots of stuff here. Cake was a cake, but a lot of fun. But very messy. I tend not to like using a lot of really messy medium because I'm a big fuss bag. I only got 2 more here. So this is cool characters from film, and this is the suggestion for this is 1-panel movie recaps. You ready? So there's a page of these. This one is Michael Douglas directs a movie about a nurse with control issues. And if anybody can guess that, I'm very proud of you. Okay? Feel free to put the guesses in the comments. Okay? Now this one, looking for my notes. Looking for my notes. I'll have to come up with them. I can't find my note for that. Okay, this is, if you're looking for a movie where Bowie's really creepy, and there you go. Okay, this one is an FBI agent keeps having to replace his glasses while chasing after 2 guys. This is we got a Cuckoo's Nest guess. Good stuff. Keep them coming. This one is a magical medieval story with questionable fashion choices. So this is watercolor on textured paper. Let's see. This is Kids Camp Misadventures. This is a plant will get so hungry that it'll even eat a dentist. And this is a kid has free reign all over a hotel while his dad gets lost in a maze. Anybody? Any question or any guesses on these? Okay. Shining, One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest. This is Little Shop of Horrors. This is Friday the 13th. This is Excalibur. This is Midnight Run. And The Man Who Fell to Earth. I have so many more of these that I came up with, and one of these days I'll do another one of these, because I've got like Psycho, it's a bird collector, makes a terrible first impression. Or Catch 22, ha ha, stuck in the army. I don't know. Let's see, Predator, soldiers on a bonding trip for a weekend. Introduces them to an ugly dude from the stars. So this one was a lot. This next one I'm going to show you, and then we're just going to do pages again, is I did a 4-page story with my grandkids. And so the 3 of us were drawing images. And so here are all of, and so this is on my Instagram. You can find all these pieces that all came together to tell our story about Mars tries to attack Earth, but ends up blowing itself up instead. And so here's all the kids' art, and the Jay and his versions are like this, and then Lily's stuff is like this, and it was so much fun. We really had a good time putting together all these pictures, and then I was trying to replicate, like stay in line with what they were doing with these crazy little characters. So this was a ball, and that was from a suggestion that somebody gave us as well. And the chances to do stuff like that, priceless. So this is okay. So these are cards. These are cards of Sam Squanches, and so all of these cards are from the promotion for the Sasquatch book that I did. And so I have oodles and zoodles of them. Would you rather see them this way or as full pages? So they're just taped down to paper, and all kinds of different medium used in drawing these. And I think I knocked out about 36 of them in a day and a half. But it's all just different interpretations of Sam Squanches. And there you go. And so they all look like this in the original form, with 4 taped down per page. There's actually 2 more pages of these that have been picked up. And hey, it's a self-portrait. Draw, monkey. There you go. Look at this. Look at this. Hey, everybody, look what I did. Yo, I made a picture. Yeah. So, back to this jazz. So here is here's a bunch of pages. This is it's guys that are doing the Tour de France, but they have to do so on kids' bicycles, or I think it even said little girls' bicycles. So it's and then of course the joke of a page ends with so there's a kind of drum set. So Marguerite just said I drove 65 kilometers to get a new tire. There you go. So here's all of this stuff. All right. Now then. So here are, I've got not as much, but here are pages. Now this is a page that was in my last book, One Page Comic Extravaganza, Volume 1, which is a soft bound, it's a floppy bound book, and it's got a whole bunch of one-page stories in it, but they're all in the portrait format, which is the upright images, as opposed to what we're doing now, which is the landscape format. So this is a fun story about a space explorer who interrupts a robot trying to have a lovely romantic dinner with his mannequin friend. And here's a page that was suggested about a fight between this is the way the cookie crumbles, is that it's let me read it. It is the day the chocolate chips came up against the ginger snaps, only to reconcile in an ill-fated trip to the tea bowl. So this is the way it looks, but in reality, but what the story we're imagining is this. And then here's they've shown all these. I have, here's ink wash page. This was incorporated into the space explosion page, and then all finished off digitally. And so that's 2 guys fighting in the air, and they blow up and make a big old mess in the future. Any bike winter Portland for races and Olympic Games. There you are. So this is alcohol marker and regular old markers. And this is about an outer space hair shop. And so here's some of the crazy alien get-ups that I drew for this. And, just nonsensical fun. Just nonsensical fun. It's a unicorn lady. Marguerite says, I'm recovering with an early lunch. There you go. So these are illustrations of the Artcasters guys. That's Scott Circlin, Corey Kerr, and Joshua Kimball. And so this is drawings of the fellas, and then their alternate reality versions. So good fun. Josh is a prepper, Scott's a goth, and Corey is some kind of fascistic business guy. So this was a funny couple of pages to do in honor of those guys and having me on their show. This is Sloth versus Sloth, and so there's a few different Sloth pages I've done over time, and it's basically spy versus spy, but with sloths. And rather, they're approaching each other with sticks ready to fight, but they both fall asleep one after the other, and the adventure ends with the two of them just sleeping side by side. So it's a different approach to a spy versus spy kaleidoscopic violent event. This is my interpretation of a bunch of different kinds of Earths. One shaped like a pill, an egg, dark Earth, weird space shape Earth, regular Earth, cheese Earth, anvil Earth might be my favorite. Anyhow, this is just good silly fun. There's a triangle Earth, soccer ball Earth. For a page called All These Earths Are. There isn't always were multiple Earths, yours is but one of them. So that's a fun suggestion. This is a story I did about Rachmaninoff, and how much I enjoy his stuff. The guy at the bottom looks like Rob from Law and Lumber, a woodworking lawyer. Is that right? There you go. So there's Rachmaninoff, the piano player. Story about how I discovered him recently. I thought he was cool. This is the Bee Gees if they were Arabian genies. So, yeah. Here they are strutting their stuff. Well, let's zoom in on that. Why don't we? Anyways, yeah, I'm losing my marbles there. This is a bunch of drawings that I did for a page called, these are drawings in marker, and it's for a page that I did called The Most Sarcastic Man in the World. And then I did two versions of this page. One is this: if there's one thing that you can believe, you can always trust those in authority. Whether it's on television, on the radio, or if it's over the internet, you can have faith in the system. And so there's this version of it. And then there's the alternate version of it, which is never trust those in authority. Not in the TV, radio, or internet. The system is out to get you. So there's two versions of the same page, but the only thing that's different is the text on it. So there's the most sarcastic man in the world. And at the end, of course, he says, I'm serious. Because that's what he would do. This is, the suggestion for this is Kangaroo Pyramid Airplane. So this is the kangaroo, who's a crime fighter from Australia. And he is trying to stop a guy from stealing the Crystal Pyramid and on an airplane. So this is just a silly bit of fun. And then the rest of it was all put together digitally. It's just trying different stuff out, right? This is Rock and Roll Librarians. This is a couple of panels from that. And so this is, librarians, right? And then here she is passing a book request to one of the gals. And they all come flying around the corner to grab any book requests that there are. So this is oh ladies, yeah. This is just drawn a green. I just drew it in green pencil and went over it with marker and left some of the things like the background elements in green pencil still. So that they when you transfer this to black line art, they stay gray, and then the black lines, of course, maintain being black, but the gray green turning into a gray is a nice thing to try out. The first time that we discover an alien race, it turns out that it's us. And so this is a page that's got 2 pages of pencil drawings with black ink, or black pen, I'm so sorry, for the enhancements of it. And here's a ship flying toward, now my intention is this ship comes towards you and then turns to go and land on the planet. So if this was animated, my thought was that the spaceship would move by like that and then go land on the planet. And then here's your astronaut and getting ready and going down to the planet and talking about all these probes that were lost on different worlds, and then we've got there's the close up of the ship, so that would be the next panel after the 4, and then when he does get down to this planet and he looks in the horizon and there's this big gigantic spectacular city, and it turns out that other spaceships left after his did that were so much faster that they got there and built a city before he ever arrived. And so this was a fun page to do. There's the one color part at the bottom. So this is just a bunch of mixed media illustrations about this one's called, Laurie and I watched a show, we watched Netflix, and a show came up and it was like Regret and Remarriage and Desires is what the show was called. This is pencil crayon. These are pencil crayon images. And Remarriage and Desires was the name of the show, but we both read it as Remarriage and Dishes. So this page is about a couple having challenges in their relationship because of sharing the responsibility of dishes. So that's good, silly fun. And then this one's about your roommate turns out to be unholy. So these are all just little mixed media images of panels from this story, drawn on all kinds of different papers and stuff again. And Mr. Bradley Pitt, he's the devil. So this is the composition. This is how the composition ends up for these 2 pages. And this is really one of the first pages that I learned how to do layers. This is at the start of last year where I learned how to do layers and to take my own drawings and to make them different colors and put them on different layers from one another, and to make these 2 guys facing off, the east and the west. But the original art looks like this. So it's a ballpoint pen drawing on a paper that has been, slapped and dragged with ink. And yet when I put it down and I did all these other layers, overlap, this is the result. But it starts like so. And this was a lot of fun to do. There's a bunch more images for that. So this page, the suggestion for it was Time Traveling Assassins, and this one is Courtney Love Smith, I think is her name, Courtney Smith. It's Kurt Cobain's wife, and she is hired to, she was the secret gun person who was hired to assassinate JFK. And there's some images of JFK as well. So the JFK images are drawn in pencil crayon to get that softer line quality to it, and then the drawings of her in not the best state are done in marker, but they're far more crisp, So this is a fun suggestion that somebody gave me. These are illustrations of FDR and Laura Secord. Famous historical fistfights. That's this page. Or no, famous historical boxing matches. And so it's Laura Secord versus FDR. And, just absurd. But there they are. They're having a go. He's taking a swing at her there from his chair. And, I don't know if you knew about this secret history of America and Canada's not getting along, but that's... this is Werner Herzog's fashion show, tonight we are going to watch a program of banality. So, this is my Werner Herzog, whether you appreciate it or not, it's art. I don't know if you know Werner Herzog, but look him up. He got shot during an interview, and the person says, "Oh my gosh, you just got shot." And he goes, "Yes, this happens." It's like, what? So this is the. I'm not going to waste time showing you the foolishness of the talent contest. We know that it doesn't have any actual value to it. And what is the point of showing you the artifice of the physicality of the ladies? Let's look at them for their minds. So it's the worst fashion show ever. But the rest of it was finished digitally. And that's blue line art, or black line art on a blue piece of cardstock. Yeah, look it up. He got shot by a BB gun in Los Angeles as he was being interviewed. Somebody shot him in the hip. And he was so used to going into the rainforest and getting arrows and things shot at him while filming this movie with Klaus Kinski that he did, that he thought nothing of it. Yes, this happens. And he's, because he does these documentaries, and he goes for the truth of things, and people get mad at him and swing at him all the time. So Werner Herzog. Now he's in. Recently, he was in The Mandalorian. But you can always tell Werner Herzog's voice when you hear it. This is the ancient. I think it's something about the ancient Sumerian people are actually the creators of the ruler. You think it's the plumb bob, but no. So this is a page drawn in pencil, black marker, and gold paint, gold ink. So, very shiny, shiny, shiny piece of leather. So, this page, this is a page that I did for my father-in-law who passed away this last year. And I said, John, if you ever want to suggest a page, and he says, the balloon! Do a page about the balloon! And so what he was talking about at the time was the Chinese spy balloon that was moving across the United States. And so I drew this in pencil crayon on this blue cardstock, and some with white ink. There's tape, of course, in there. But I was going for the softest values that I could possibly get out of this. And when it's scanned, it has this really lovely tone to it. But the page is called My Beautiful, My Beautiful, because all I could think of about this big balloon that everybody's making a hubbub of is, up, up and away, my beautiful song about a balloon. And then here's more elements of it. Here's the guys pulling it out of the water. Here's the head of China. Here's the head of the States. And there's North America. Because what a lot of people don't seem to remember is that it flew across Canada too. Well, part of it. Here's a marker drawing that ended up getting thrown into a larger piece. But this is about revolution, I believe. And then there's some fun in the sun drawings kicking around in here, like that's Snoke from Star Wars. And that's Darth Snoke, and then there's Darth Jar Jar. You in for bad doo-doo now, sir. This is the theory that Jar Jar is secretly a Sith, secretly a bad guy. So there he is in a bad guy outfit with a little bit of lightning for you. There you go. The rumors are true. And this is the day I discovered paint markers. So this is my first paint marker drawing. I have just dialed into acrylic paint markers. High five! It went nowhere. I don't know if I did anything with this. I just threw it in a pile. And here's, hey, it's Batman! Hey! Yeah. That's my version of Batman. Goofy guy. What fish? What fish? This is drawn on a Pantone card of Willowbow. John, what in the world is that? I don't know, Marion, yet. I think we are about to find out. I'll zoom in on that. There you these things are not easy to draw on because the surface does not accept mark making material very well. Let's see. This is okay. Well, I'll end on that stuff that I've done recently. Here is I remember what the suggestion of this one is. It's a mammoth. Oh, this is, I know what this is. This is instant coffee, late, and mammoth is the suggestion for this. And so this is the original art I did for that page. And of course, it's a page that's got ink splashed on it first and then worked over top of. Now these, and Chris included a page of that as well that's on her Instagram you should check out. This is a mixed, as part of the suggestions. Yeah, that's right, that's right. So this is a mixed media page that's got some Braille off on it and crayon and things like that. And so these are some of the panels that I drew for these pages in ballpoint pen and pencil crayon and then there's modulations on the surface, stenciling. This is where I discovered stencils, by the way, folks. This is my first page that has any stencils on it. Yay! Which is not that long ago. It's like 2 weeks ago. Here is Jesus and Buddha have a conversation. And so it's simple line art. And then because I wanted to have it a very subdued page. So and I did the additions to it, the colors to it in digitally. So this is a lot of fun. It talks about how noisy, demanding people are. I can't remember what this one is, but this is a mixed media page that has had a jelly-plated unsuccessful image put down, but you can see some neat spots. And I literally mean spots up in the top part of it. And which might be the only successful part of that jelly plating. So, and there's a spinning top. This thing is called the Whirling Dervish, and it's all about the dance, the Whirling Dervish, by dervishes, and then I've got a top spinning there as well, and kids getting down with them funky selves, and that's on a piece of Bristol. Some black line art, pen, ink, pencil maybe, I don't know. Crayon, I think. Or no, dry brush. That's what that is. So here's a bunch of portraits for the face game, and I've got 2 pages. Marguerite said some whirling dervishes. There you go. So I've got 2 pages like this that I just put squares on and made a bunch of scribbly shapes and circles and things like that on there, and I just started drawing directly on here. Just started putting faces in with a dipping pen, and so I ended up coming with, that's Dr. Irving Finkel, and then I just started coming up with different faces. One of those is that 11-year-old that thinks that corporations are listening to her, and there's Tom Baker. Doctor, what? So there's some of those, and that went into a panel. I got scanned and colored. This is one of the tie-dye papers that I got from the Wall of Marts, and then I did a sort of clearing off stamp from jelly plating, where it's just some detritus that's left after the fact, and so I stamped it over on this paper, and so that's what gives this kind of crazy modulated background there. And I drew over top with the red pen and a white pen. So that's fun in the sun. I'll zoom in on that if you want to. So you can get all kinds of different tonality by just letting that other value come through. And look at the interesting complexity of yellow in that neck that I wouldn't have done if I tried to do it, right? And sometimes it's those happy little accidents that happen that make things a little more compelling. Like that road is more interesting with the yellow in it. The green coming through it. you know, sometimes it's about not drawing as much as it is about drawing in all the information, you know. But yeah, that's another fun one. Here is marker and watercolor on a piece of modified paper. Now, there's tape and Post-its and things like that put down with gel medium, so it kind of works at times like a resist for the watercolor. Yes. And in addition to that, this is an onion bag that is, I've cut a piece off and bonded that down to the surface in different spots and just laid the image flat over top, but it just gives that crazy texture once it's scanned. That texture carries through. And I like that. I like it a lot. I'm not entirely sure what that page's suggestion is. Now this is more like large drawings that I've done in the past and shown in galleries, where it's a big monkeyed around surface, tape and paint and different things underneath. Oh my gosh, a Toyota 4x4 just drove across two curves and rocks in between. It came really close to me in my parking spot. Oh my gosh, please, I hope you're okay. But I'm glad this didn't happen. So this is pencil and pencil crayon and watercolor and white paint and modified surface on a regular old piece of paper. And yeah, just fun. And this is a flat single panel image for a page. But it's just, again, it's the different approaches that we take to things. That you see some of the rippling in here? That's a different piece of paper just randomly in there. And tissue papers in that surface. You can see all the little fun little difference in the lines, and then there's a piece of paper under there. Yeah, I love that kind of stuff. Here is a jelly plated page. I don't know what the original image was supposed to be. Because again, the first 20, 30 jelly plated things that I did until I really started figuring out the right amount of paint, or the right contrasted images and stuff like that to use. I didn't get it at first, but when I did, then I started getting images out of it. But for the first little while, I'm kind of stamping paint down with a jelly plate onto paper with not much results. So then I would utilize that and draw images flat on top of that. And so this is a city of the future here, where you've got all kinds of characters roaming around. Space business. A guy and his robot. Hey, what are you talking about, robot? Yeah. My jaw dropped, but his woman was gesticulating wildly. Well, I'm glad you're okay. Okay, this is another page like the one with the car accident. This is from the hot air balloon crash, and so you'll see different kinds of paper in the surface, and so you can see the printed information on these little billets that are in there, tape that's in there, just primer, and there's some musical notes, and all kinds of just modification to the surface. I mean, this is paper, like grass paper made from manganese grass. And so this is another single image, and yet there's different aspects to it. Here's the person, here's the storm, there's the balloon coming down. So a static image can still have a whole bunch of stuff in it. Okay, this page is horses running wild in the Colosseum. I've shown this a few different times. I've even got a scan of this background. This is the background for the weekly Monday draw flyer. So, but this is drawing a ballpoint pen, black ballpoint pen, and a white pencil crayon on this modified surface with tissue paper and printed paper and wrapping from a paper package and then the image just laid on it. And so the text runs across here and uses this sort of a directional shape from here through here, and the text follows that way. So it's not just lost space. Yeah. Hey, horses, wild, they're running wild. Here's a sci-fi page about explorers. And one of those. There they are in their little ships, and there's a little piece of space, and here's the guys, hey, who likes potatoes? And here they are, hey, cannonball! So, you know, way to go, Bob, you left the paddles. So, good fun. This is a green ballpoint pen, or I'm sorry, orange ballpoint pen drawing. I was watching a Donald Sutherland movie, so I just ended up drawing the part where he's wrestling with another guy. Don't look back! And really great cliffhanger on that one. This is this one was the special canvas that whenever you look through it, it shows you other worlds that you can travel to, or shows you other places that you can travel to. And so everybody's deciding how to maximize money off of this, and the guy that made the frame is taken off with it because he made it. It's his. Oh, well, this is about how to deal with ghosts. This is a Miriam suggestion. How to deal with ghosts. And I had, Mom will deal with ghosts. She's got her spatula. Don't you worry. So it's a lot of, this is just done in acrylic paint on a piece of cardstock. I'm going to take a picture. I got back in and he came along, went out the same way. Okay, so he's a nut. No women. What are you talking about, no women? There's a lady. That's a lady. These are all ladies. So this is fun. Just painted this page in. This is pencil crayon. All these panels here are pencil crayon drawings that made up panels for a page. So there's a lot of little bits of business going on in this. Something about Taylor's. Must have dropped her off. Oh, there's no. Tell them to leave the ghosts alone. Sounds to me like you live near crazy people. This is just painted in watercolor. This page. Guy gets a gothic toupee, so I have him get flock of seagull hair. There he is, executive. His life has no flair and dramatic to it, so he remembers how much he loved flock of seagulls, and he gets himself a flock of seagull wig. And of course, his co-workers are like, "Is there something different about Bob's hair?" Yeah. This is ballpoint pen. This is Paul Pate. Paul is often a vehicle for some interesting pages because he's always got some great ideas and people around him with great ideas. This is about a fire alarm or a smoke detector that Paul had going. Now he has multiple smoke detectors, but the one outside of his studio area had just been beeping for about 2 weeks. It was too high for him to reach, and I completely understand that. But this is a story about an alternate universe Paul who, even when he takes it down, it doesn't stop beeping, so he starts throwing it. And it lands in all kinds of different places in the house, but it's nigh indestructible until he gets it into the washing machine. And that's on paper that's got ink splattered across it, or a cardstock paper, right? Good fun. I'm sorry, I don't remember what this is about, but it's some kind of thing with soldiers and soldiers that go to get hamburgers or something. I drawn too many pages at this point. We're trying to remember stuff, and I'm having a challenging time at times. So. This is a person alone on a spaceship. So this is originally a jelly-plated blue page with blue and red. And so I went over it in ballpoint pen with a white pencil. And this is what I came up with, is the guy lost and alone on a spaceship in the dark. Creepy. So this was a fun page to do. Especially trying to make everything look like it's in the dark, you know, and trying to bring things out, figuring out contrast and light, and, you know. There's another picture of Jim. Hey, I'm Jim the One. Sorry, Jim. And a saber-toothed tiger. So this is Jim wrestling a saber-toothed tiger. This one is, I think it's a senior dating game or something like that. I'll pull out. This is just black and white line art, and on a white piece of card. So a senior's Tinder or something. I can't remember what it was now, but a lot of fun. Tried this circular motif to it, and I'm really happy with it, you know. Yummy. All right, next. This is the scenic route. So this is where you can start to see more images coming through in my jelly plating, like the letters that are here and stuff like that. Far from the light of heaven, she wakes up early and everyone else is dead. Tate Thompson. Is this a suggestion or is this a book? That's a neat idea. Let me know. So this is mixed media, including paint markers and things like that. Now I drew some of them sideways because that's the orientation of the panels, and that's the thing about scanning. It's a book. That sounds like a cool book. So when I scan them in, that allows me to have a larger volume of space for those panels by drawing them in this way. Makes the original page look a little bit crazy. This one is people. Crab fighters, something like that. And so this is drawn in a chalk marker on a piece of craft paper. So this is fun. The beautiful colors come out of those chalk markers. So here these guys are, all these big tough guys, and here's that. They're all afraid of this giant crab. You know, giant crab. Size is relative, right? It's a relative thing, size. You little piece of this, pal. Get over there and get them, boys. Yeah, stuff. Here's this is my first scrap, my first collage page that I've ever done, and that's Elizabeth Windsor. And then the rest of this page was completed digitally, collaging digitally. It's a closed door mystery, Marguerite says. That's super cool. So there's a bunch of different elements in there that I've tried to paint together into a compositional arrangement, and then added more complexity to it digitally. History Lies is this page. And again, here's a ballpoint pen page on a gray piece of cardstock using that intermediate value, you know. Well, that's not a drawing of the Queen, Chris. That's my first collage. It's actually a magazine image of the Queen. It's the first time I've used a magazine image in a thing, because, you know, I tend to be the, rather than having to hunt around for a magazine, I'll just draw it guy. And but somebody would say, well, try collage. Give it a try, Mr. Big Stuff. So I did. And it's fun. It's good fun. So I'll show you my second one. Well, you've seen the second one. I did it the other day. So I think I might be doing some more collaging. These are elves. White pencil on a red piece of cardstock. So it's just a white pencil print. Yeah, but fun. This is Nazi Advanced Tech Conspiracy, as suggested by Gary. And so this is drawings in dipping ink of 1940s, 50-esque sci-fi adventure, trying to stop them Nazis from getting all our technologies and getting a hold of some of their doodads, including this. So This is a fun one. And then it's on a Stonehenge paper. Like, it's a really nice and thick, beautiful paper for drawing on. I'm not sure what this page is. Clearly Canadian imagery. But there's our Prime Minister getting smacked on a baseball, getting smacked across a field. And here's somebody cutting down trees with a hockey stick. And our Academy Awards, I guess, are, curling rocks. I'm not sure what this page is about. Chris says, I'll be right back. This is the greatest fighter in the history of mankind. So you can see how monkeyed up the paper is. Pull in on this. And I really like working on paper that's got this much junk around it. And then pulling the white in the areas that I want it and just leaving that, because that doesn't matter. It really doesn't. That's just the extras around the stuff we intend for people to look at, and it just adds some kind of element to it. But this is shaped, if you can see it, kind of a cloud formation around them, so it's intentional. Here is bank robbers. I'll pull back out on this. Well, you can't really see it, but it's full body poses of some tough guys that are going to rob a bank. But of course, this guy's got his hand stuck in a peanut butter jar. He forgot the keys. This guy's a bicycle courier who wore his other work outfit because he didn't have time to change. And they're not very good bank robbers. And this is the man with the plan who's like, why did I pick these people? It's my kind of fun. These are stamps that I made out of lino that I stamped a bunch of images down. This is one of my grandkids' stamps. And there's the man card stamp. And there's a black line art version of the same couple here. And I use these to putting together a page for that with these different stamps. A page just made out of stamped characters. All the information had to be stamped. Place a suggestion. This is Hollywood symbolism. So I've got some silly Hollywood, silly images. Hardly weird. That's what it says. I'm sorry. And then there's another shot about it from the behind. Hardly weird. So this is fun. Can't remember what this is. Oh, it's about a guy. It's about a guy who comes across a bear that was streaking, or something like that. And then, of course, the bear has got a, exposed backside. So, and this is done with Zipatone on a blue cardstock, and black and white ink. So all these different values and patterns that you get from the Zipatone. Let's see if it brings any of that detail out. You can see some of it here now. A bear. Oh, that's what it was. Okay, a bear. Thank you, Chris. Appreciate that. Oh, there's another piece from the bank robbers, I think. And that's black and white on a gray piece of paper. This one is a tug of war with a ringer on the team, and that ringer is a werewolf. So this is watercolor and pencil crayon on a piece of cardstock. So that's a lot of fun images in there. And, come on, Randy, Paul. I'm pulling, Billy. And then here's some of the recent pages. There's the races on. That's done on a jelly-plated image of cars in a parking lot that I turned into the silliness that I did. And oh my gosh, I can hear my cat snoring. And this is yesterday's page about bad decisions. I think it was, or a couple days ago, I'm sorry. And here's one of the this is a stencil piece about the bird of death. The bird of death. Chris likes the swimming car. Is it this one where he's got the paddle going? Is it the bottom panel? The race isn't over. See the little duck? It's got a paddle too. It's important. It's important that they don't give up. This is all done by stencils. And there's a bunch of different interpretations of a scary guy face. And this is all about the true self, the self that we show people, the self that we know is true, and the self that we share with others. Hi, Miriam. Welcome aboard. Here is one of the collage pages of old images I found with modified surface papers and making compositions out of those. Here's another one of those. This is about the secret spies, and this is these are Patreon pages that you can see there. The finished images. They're not on Instagram or Facebook. And there's the birds take wing, I believe is what this one's called. And then here is I don't remember. This is the bare necessities. The bare necessities. And there they are, offended that people are making bear puns to them. And then they're asking what are the things that you need to be happy? And he says, he tells people the 3 things plus high fives. High five. So here is the origin of giraffes is that they come from the underworld. And so this is a paper that's got yellow paint smeared on it. And some people would throw that out. I just use it in the surface. So, not be bothered. Yeah, so there is like another origin of giraffes. And so the giraffe decides to tell his own story. And so this is a montage image of just a straight green pencil drawing on this monkeyed up paper about giraffes coming from the underworld. That's a dipping pen from a suggestion by, I think it was Ann Lar, talking about the guy out in supposed to be doing the weed whacking on her lawn outside, and he just keeps stopping to answer the phone. He's got to keep an eye out there for alligators. So we turned it into he's an alligator fighter, and so he answers a call and goes out and takes on an alligator. So pencil line art, drawings. This is the old ladies, and this is the ants and the cordyceps mushrooms. But I didn't do these ants. I did your aunties. So that's I got this last little bit to show you today, and I think we'll wrap it up there. You don't need to see me because I need the space for this one. So this is the world of the Kremlinator, and so this is a world where Joshua Kimball and his Risk game playing is actually creating little different world realities where they look up to him as their savior, hence the giant rock carved in the shape of Joshua Kimball's face. Josh's a great guy. Check out what he's doing on his channel. He's working on a book right now, and there's People of the Future. Oh, and there's a Risk reference right there. This one is drawn in mixed media inks, and it's a village meeting that goes wrong. And so this is ink and pencil crayon. Ink and black pencil crayon, and white paint. I think that's it. On a page, it's got like little music notes and things like that in it, and but there's the image. And then I would reformat that for the page. Here's a green pencil art page talking about how the city is secretly run by these nefarious characters. There's the map of the city, there's a view of the downtown, there's the building that they meet in. Here's the guy who's telling the story. And here's these terrible characters that are actually the ones that rule the city and make all the decisions about it. And these are in reference to my 11-book series called Elmwood. And there's the big bad for that. Yeah, who's based on Dan Hedaya. You know, the guy from Cheers. Oh, Carla's ex-husband. Great actor. And then here's a page about the man who's secretly in charge, referencing Dan Hedaya. And so we walk through a building, up the stairs, up again, down the hall, past the various rooms in this apartment, you know, the spooky things behind them. And there he is at his desk. Hey, so what can I do for you? If you don't know that Cheers reference, I don't know. But here's the guy who is in outer space and he has to fight against somebody. And I can't remember all the ins and outs of this, but I did this recently and it was a lot of fun. But it's all about scale. Look at the size of the other dude he's got to fight. You mind if I take off my outfit? It's impossible to keep this clean. Just dumb. Oh, he's invulnerable. This is the one where it's a guy who's completely indestructible, but he always takes his clothes off to fight because he's tired of replacing his wardrobe. That's what this is. What a ridiculous idea that was. It's so great. Here is this is the bomb. This is the order. A missent order can lead to disaster, and this is about a guy. Order: watch for the bomb. Watch. It should be watch out for the bomb, not just staying there looking for one. But it's yeah. This is a fun one. This is just drawn in black line art on a white piece of cardstock. This is trying a couple of different approaches with pencil crayon, and I just want to see if I can mix it up a little bit. So I put the soft approach on the one side with these people. Why don't they leave us alone? I don't know, Margaret. Just go with it. They'll go away eventually. That's what the text in this is. And then I tried the sharper version of it, you know, with hashing and using heavier application and more opaque. I tend to like this far more. So this page was called "Why Don't They Leave Us Alone?" And there's a drawing at the bottom that I do this all the time, by the way, where I'll draw another panel and never use it. All these people all wiped out. I do that a lot. Here's a lady and her pal, the dragon, just hanging out, just chillaxing with the dragon. This is drawn in pencil crayon. And there's another panel. I don't know, maybe I'm just feeling a little bit down. I mean, why? You're a dragon. Do something dragony. So that's a fun one. That's on cardstock. This is the page that I refer from time. Whoops, you don't need to see me. This is the page I refer to from time to time. Jim suggested I do a page of a horse playing a guitar, riding a bicycle at the edge of a black hole. And so it's these two stoners that are giving their, dude, we got this awesome idea for a film. And so they describe this, and the person says, and the, I guess we can make that, or like, excellent. And then I interrupt and say, listen, I appreciate whatever crazy ideas you come up with in your social interactive group, but doesn't mean anybody else is going to understand what you're talking about. So there's, you know, silly. We see you. One of them looks like you. Oh, there you go. Well, that worked then. But yeah, I had to draw a horse riding a bicycle, playing a guitar. This is Joan Crawford, Rasputin, and David Bowie go for burritos. And it ends with David Bowie and Rasputin doing the Dancing in the Streets video on top of a giant burrito in heaven. So, you know, as one is wont to do. But it's a ridiculous idea. but a lot of fun. So and this is just drawn in a blue pen. So Joan Crawford joins him at the table at this little restaurant in heaven. Oh, hello, it's Joan Crawford. We thought you sit down with us, woman, you know. And then they are, I've seen a few of your films, you know. And she says, I've seen a few of your music videos. And anyways, ridiculous. This is Richard Simmons and cat yoga. This is yeah, you know. So this is just line art of Richard Simmons, and then there's a Cheshire cat, and so you can imagine the conversation between Richard Simmons and a Cheshire cat, yeah. And there's a cat that's bringing, oh my goodness, you know, what? Yeah, I just channeled my best Richard Simmons that I could, and just for some of us that really need this. Oh my goodness. Let's work out, everybody. And then there's a cat. Watch the cat. And then there's more shots of Richard. What? Oh my goodness. Yeah. So. How you doing, Frankly? Welcome aboard, sir. Oh, Linda likes the dance in the streets. This is another one of the 500 years from now pages. I drew this with a purple pencil. And again, this is one of these ones of this crazy scientist and his absolutely lunatic moments that he has. Like I did one where he resurrects Elvis for the holidays, and then so this is where he tries to clone gnomes, and of course he discovers the gnome genome and starts to clone them, and then of course they overtake everything. Right. There's no place like Gnome. This is about a guy who just every time he thinks he's the toughest guy, he keeps getting knocked down, but he gets up again. Are they ever gonna knock him down? I don't know what the lyrics to that are. But this is drawn in marker. Just a bunch of action stuff. Whoa! So. Frankly says, I'm working on some videos. I can't stay long. I want to say hi. Hello, sir. Good. I'm glad you did that. It's good to see you. This page is called mouse holing. Mouse holing is something they would do in World War II, where they'd, I read one of his biography. Went to school in Italy. He had changed chosen for the food. First thing he did when he got off the plane was eat a calzone. Who's that? Who are we talking about? Bowie? Oh, Richard Simmons. I'm keeping up. I'm so sorry. Thank you. First thing he did was eat a calzone with 3. He was a character. This is mouse holing is World War II when they needed to get across towns that they were in conflict with the other army. They would just blow holes in the walls and move through the insides of the buildings. It's called mouse holing. And so that's what this page is all about, is mouse holing. Hi, I'm Marisa. Welcome aboard. So this is drawn with a alcohol marker and a ballpoint pen, looks like. So, yeah. So there's some, you can pull some fun details and values out of just using simpler tools by just using the 3, a black line area, the white line area, and of course the gray, and it just helps you to shake up environments in space. Leaving little spots out of the gray here gives you a greater sense of depth and complexity for the image, without having to put all kinds of silly on it. But that's mouse holing. This is the I'll switch out again. This is the conspiracy page. So I drew an image of a person in front of a wall, and writing down, and then I did a bunch of smaller images like this. Lizard, what was her name? She ran for America's president thing. Well, whoever, doesn't matter. Big boy, and then the UFOs, and I don't, Bigfoot and dogs that can talk and walk. Anyways, and so in the finished page, it has all of these conspiracies written on this wall and how they all interconnect to these different little areas. And so it incorporated all of those pieces of information in there. Conspiracy theory, attack board as a page was a suggestion. I think that's it. I think it was her. Here's another World War II page. I really enjoy doing some of these because my father-in-law really enjoyed World War II stuff, and so I would do some of these doodles, chatting with him, and spending time with him. And it was a nice time to have together before, we lost him last year. So, not entirely sure what this page is, but it's got a bunch of dancing Trudeaus on it, making a fool of himself. Bunch of people. Oh, I think they're talking about him making a fool of himself. Anyhow, this is in white and white pencil and a black marker on purple cardstock, or white pencil and white pen. This is one of the funniest suggestions. This is Mosh Pit Ropers, and so I think it was supposed to be Mosh Pit Rappers, and I read it wrong, and so I did an entire page of ropers, of Mr. Roper from Three's Company. I come and knock on our door. So here's Mr. Roper, over and over and over. They're all Mr. Roper. So, here they are. And this is them in the punk band. Here's one of the guys jumping off into the stage, and here they are skipping rope, just for one more swing. And the Mosh Pit Ropers. This is drawn in an orange pen, and then a little bit of color and a gray pen as well, or a gray marker. The saw marker. I'm sorry. Come and knock on our door. Take a step that is new. Alec Colville, Diary of a War Artist. Nice. Yeah, I've got all kinds of kind of neat books about people's interpretations and pieces during the war. I'll have to show some of those. This is You Can Do It, Ethan, and this is pointing out the fact that this goofball narcissist has to run and show off his running ability and his never-aging features, which we realize are being computer manipulated in the last few films now. As he can do almost impossible stunts. Well, this is him trying to get the lid off a peanut butter jar before the missile hits. You did it! And it's drawn in marker. It's my Mission Impossible page. Here is a mixed media page about tough guys. Tough guys. These two tough guy cops that are in everything. In all the different shows. So this is these two tough guys talking about being tough guys when they're not really tough guys. So having some fun. There's a whole bunch of different stuff applied here. Put some spatter on it. A little bit of a little bit of hey now what now? This is Hot Sexy. This is the Amazonian right here. It's Hot Sexy. Huh? What? I'm gonna let you sell your books on my thing. And then this is, in case you didn't know who it was the last one, my grandkids told me about something. And so here's Jay and Lily. Oh no, it's Jeffy Bezos. That's what Jay calls him. There's a song about him, And there's that same image. There's the same face of that guy. Well, it's not the same, it's a different expression, but it's the same guy. And did you know that anyone can tune a piano, but no one can tune a fish? That's my granddaughter Lily. This is just us having our day. And then Lily telling me about this. Come on, Jeffy, you can do it. And some guy wrote a song about this fella. But this was a lot of fun to do, and I colored it all digitally. But that is my grandson Jay's character, and this is Lily's character. One's a wiseacre, and the other one's a troublemaker. This is an 80s action. This is an 80s action Miami Vice one page, and so I just drawn all kinds of little elements of the Miami Vice guys, and there's the car, and here they are in some action poses. Right, there's that one. A lot of and the whole page is about, I can't believe that these guys are constantly running around in Miami in these suits. How are they not sweating to death? This page is a battle for the bridal bouquet. This page is about ladies attacking each other for bridal bouquet, and so I drew the bouquet, and then I had it flying through the entire composition, but I did it embossed over top. Marguerite says somebody wears Depends. Well, I guess that depends. Sometimes I do, sometimes I don't. So this is the big fight for the bridal bouquet, and the lady that wins it goes, yes! And she looks over at me and goes, oh no! This is the giant beetles in the desert that were a constant nuisance for the trains that were trying to make their way across America or something like that. And an old fella regaling youngsters with his tale of, oh, you think you know hard, but you don't know nothing. You never come up against in a cross-country race against a giant beetle. And that's on a graph paper. And there's all kinds of mixed media in here. You can see some matte medium. There's electrical tape, masking tape. Ink, and my older sister threw her landed on a beam. It was shocking. Oh my gosh. Her bridal bouquet, that's rough. This is just an illustration of Sam Squinch and mixed media. I like painting the forest. I mean, this kid needs a shave. Murphy says, I live graph paper. I have graph paper. I never. This is how the graph paper layout. I'll show you. Zoom on this. This is how patterned it is, and I use none of it. It's just a cool paper, though. So this is there's a zoom in on some of the information in the forest, and it whites out, just washes right out like it would in the light. So this is a picture of a Sam Squinch, and it's good fun. This is what if trains could run off like freely away from tracks. We're back to a portrait format, and there's all kinds of papers and stuff under the surface here. Susanna Silva says, do you always use, and hi Susanna, welcome aboard, do you always use collage and mixed media on the backgrounds, or it depends on the story you're telling about? I kind of use whatever I just, I'm very random. Like there's pages where, like here is, this is a page for Patricia from P&M Artist Studio. It's the Twilight Zone episode, where he's talking about this eccentric artist, and then she says, okay, enough funny business, because it's, and then of course the Twilight Zone universe, and so he talks about this eccentric artist, and then it starts getting crashed into by unicorns. And so the unicorns there's no mixed media application to them here really, other than it's paint and pencil. And and in this one it's just white pencil crayon and a black pen on a blue piece of cardstock. So using these together like this is where you start to get a mixed media application to it, but there's still a sort of very specific approaches to each one, but in neither of these images is there a big modification of the background. It's pretty much just laying an image down. So it's different for everything, whereas this has got all kinds of modification on the surface. Susanna says she's adorable. She is. She's awesome. So there's a lot of modification on this surface here. I like doing that a lot. Hi, Maxie. And, you know, here's another example of that. This is 13 Nikola Teslas in a parking lot, red and blue flashing lights is the suggestion for this. And I took it as 13 Nikola Teslas. And so I can't find the other piece of paper that I drew the other Tesla. I drew 4 Tesla cars on here, and I made this guy disappear. So I had 9 Teslas, Tesla clones, and 4 Tesla cars. And it's just about them getting to a big heated disruption about who's going to follow what scientific experiment, and the police having to lock them all up. So, nonsense. This is a person, and again, here's one without any monkeying around with the background, Suzanne. Welcome back, Chris. This is a person's life in the course of a day. And so this is baby, and then toddler, and then young guy, growing up, playing some soccer. You know, here he is, a teenager. Dad, can I borrow the keys or what? And there's a young man off to too busy for his parents and off to college and whatnot. And here he is coming with his own wife and celebrating his birthday with a little more maturity now. And then there's their baby, and there's the 4 of them now talking as the baby is looking out the window out the backyard. So it's just a life in a day. And so it's his birthdays. Each time it's a different iteration of the birthday. So that's in a 9-panel format. This is stop celebrating mediocrity and stop giving attention to public personas that are just don't add anything to the mix. They're like just giant monsters attacking society. So that's why everybody's running so much smaller as these giant lunatics. I'll expect to look at me, my weirdness, you know. And you know, we focus so much on these sort of people, and we don't focus enough on people that have actual impact on society, like Nikola Tesla. Alternating current, folks. None of this would exist without it. This page was called the food truck for cannibals. And so again, this is the assertion of this one is that here's these 2 people talking in line about how there's a special truck that only these certain guys, these fat cats, go to that, you know, with all these empty buildings in downtown and buying up everything and keeping opportunity for development from it because they just want to devour. So that's why nobody else eats at that truck, because that's the food truck for the cannibals. That is, it's just a bunch of random doodly-doos of crazy space aliens and, you know, and bug people, and just playing with black and white line art, you know, and having some fun there. This is an audience gets involved. This is all about jazz, and so I wanted to tell this story with sound, and so that's there's a person walking in. So if you read all these parts and then lay them over a top, you should have anyways, and then the audience says, hey, it's great, that's good stuff, as the person that we're watching here runs past the window. So that's just drawn with a pen and stamped letters, the old lead stamps. And what do we got next? Oh, this is, and these pages that I'm showing you now are all in the last book that I put out of page suggestions. So this is Kaiju Rock, Paper, Scissor Fight. This is 3 giant pilot trying to figure out what these 3 giant monsters that are encroaching on the city, boop, 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 are up to, and they are having a Rochambeau fight. See, there's their different monster hands. rock, paper, scissors, and the other two wander off while this one attacks the city. Yep. Kaiju battle, rock, paper, scissors. And this is Life is a Highway. This is all about this lady who's singing along with the song, and then her friend says, she's like, oh my goodness, I can't believe it. It's such a beautiful day. And then another person off panel says, I know. And she goes, what? Stephanie? And she goes, Stephanie, you scared me. I've been here the whole time. And then they both go, ah, and the car flies off the cliff. Life is a highway. Don't get distracted in the vehicles, folks. This is my salute to bad 1990s superhero comics where little kids here and this guy, crazy sci-fi guy, comes through and says, I'm here to protect you from the future with all this ridiculous guns and proportions. And he's like, mister, I don't even know what you're talking about. And he goes, team assemble, and all these other guys start coming through the magic doors that he came through. That's the way I think of 1990s comics. This is Captain... a superhero, their only superpower is to be able to tell whether or not someone is lying. And so this is Captain Sincerity. And so this is based on Scott Thompson from Kids in the Hall. And so he shows up, he's so much smaller than all the other heroes, and he says, okay, give me some tires or something to pop a squat. And then he's, and he's just trying to pick this guy, the bad guy's brain here. Where's the bomb? You're going to tell me or whatever, So, and then it ends with him going off to prison. And you're going to love it there. Lots of boys. I don't like boys. Liar! So. I think this is the last two I'm going to show you. This is How Will I Be Getting About? How will I be getting about there? Miriam is off. Hey, have a good dinner, Miriam. And so these are these two guys investigating a fella who claims that he got there by falling through the sky, like with a bus. He just dropped in to see what condition my condition was in. Is the note that I wrote on that. And so that's got tape on it and a couple different pieces of paper and having some fun in the sun. Yeah, so, and then the last one is, there I am falling on my head. And this is me doing a cartoon of me. So I'm falling on my head, and I'm sitting up, brushing myself off. Yeah. Oh my goodness, I'm a cartoon. I gotta get out of here. Slipping on a banana peel and rolling around, rolling around, rolling around. There you go. That's it. That's the nonsense, folks. So yeah, so that's just a whole bunch more of the pages that I've done in the last year and a half. So that's today's page was page number 76 for since the start of the year, and it was Unsung Heroes. This suggestion came from my mom, and thank you, Mother. And so I did the Unsung Hero, and this one is the time is far past due for us to celebrate Handy Larry. And so it's a giant hand in the sky that helps everybody out. Here to help. That's what I just said, Larry. Sorry. It's fine. I don't know. I have my own sense of humor, and I try to apply it to the pages, but it's fun, the interaction that I get from people. So if you have one-page story ideas, some of these, random suggestions can go off into all kinds of really fun and different ways. And I really enjoy doing that. And if there's anything that you see, any of the suggestions that you've heard, or any of the suggestions that you see on my Facebook or Instagram or Patreon, so this is a special treat because the Patreon people get to see all the original art. So, but if you follow those, I always put the suggestions underneath the page. And so if you see one that you like, I highly encourage you to do it. I highly encourage you to do your own version of it. It's not going to be whatever I'm doing, because you are a wonderful, unique individual, and you're going to have your own perspective on stuff. And you're going to apply yourself in a vastly different way than I would. So please do. I'd love to see it. Let's see. Let's pick out today's one-page suggestion for me to work on and post for tomorrow. Better check off this one that I just did. What do we got? We got. So I've got. This is the book of suggestions, and it is very, very full of things that I to do and things that I have done. And so there's. Oh, see how to get rid of a ghost. I didn't check that off, Miriam. So there's all kinds of great stuff in here to work from. I go for. I haven't got the courage yet to draw me as a hula dancer. That's a suggestion from Dee Dee. Yeah, I think that I'll do this one because I keep seeing it in here, and it's a friend of my wife's. The suggestion is Logan and Bert. Where's Ernie? That's the suggestion. So that's what I'll be doing for tomorrow. Logan and Bert. Where's Ernie? Now on Fridays. Now tomorrow I'm going to be showing. Two things are going to be happening. One is that I will be sending the winner of the draw their image, and as well I will be starting this weekend's image, and I generally draw those weekend images in pencil crayon or something a little more labor intensive. So feel free to tune in for that if you'd like. I think it'll be a lot of fun. There's just it's just an extra bit of business to challenge myself with. The other thing I would ask of everybody, if you can keep Rachel, who's one of the fibs here that a number of creative types here have met online, she's having surgery today on her eyes, and eyes are incredibly important to a person who creates. So if we can all keep her in our thoughts and prayers, that would be wonderful if you could do that. Okay, I know what I'm going to do tomorrow. I'm not going to do the Burton or anything. Hey, Bob, want to see my dance moves? No thanks, Lou. Not today. I sketched this on a canvas before. But this is what I'll be doing for tomorrow. Hey, Bob, want to see my dance moves? No thanks, Lou. Not today. I'm going to do a suggestion for myself just because I never do anymore. I'm always just doing my weird interpretations on other people's suggestions. So that's what we're going for tomorrow. Hey, Bob, want to see my dance moves? No thanks, Lou. Not today. And then if you've got suggestions, you want to put them in the comments for this video. Once the video is posted, you want to put them in the comments on any of the social media posts that I've done on Facebook and on Instagram, or even on the Patreons. And please, thank you very much, and thumbs, whatever. And tell all your friends. Tell the whole bunch. If you want to let more people know what we're doing here, and if you can think of other people that might enjoy being part of this fun, let them know. Tell them to subscribe and take part and all that jazz. It's a lot of fun. I've been enjoying the heck out of this. I did 358 pages last year. We're already on 76 for this year. We're having a ball. All right, folks, that's it for me. I'll be back tomorrow at 2 p.m. EST, and I hope to see you then. Chris says, thank you, see you around. Thank you very much, everybody. Oh, Chris gave me more suggestions, too. Super cool. Thanks very much, guys. I'll see you tomorrow, 2 p.m. EST. Bye for now.